Hey guys, it's Matt Ramsey, your vocal coach, and I have to tell you something. Any vocal coach that tells you that you can fix your vocal break is lying to you. Including myself. I've definitely put out videos like that in the past where the title and the thumbnail says something about like fixing your vocal breaks. Who knows, maybe even this video will have one. But nobody fixes their vocal break. But what people actually learn how to do and how they're actually able to make it sound like such a smooth transition from the bottom to the top part of their voice is they learn how to negotiate through their passages or sing through their bridge or sing through their vocal break. And I see this with beginning students all the time. They're like, Matt, I just want to fix my vocal break. I want to just stretch my chest voice a little bit further so that I don't have to break when I go up to high notes. But that's not the way that the voice works. So today I want to show you one of my absolute favorite exercises to help you learn how to negotiate your vocal break to the point where you do it long enough and you may not even realize that it's there anymore. And I think that most people, when they're actually talking about fixing their vocal break, that's what they're really talking about. They're talking about having done it so many times and sung through their passage so many times that they don't even really feel it happen anymore. But again, the goal is to be able to disguise it and learn how to negotiate. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite exercises to do this. Now, whereas in other videos, I might be giving you exercises that are designed to kind of help you disguise the vocal break, like a or a na 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 or a. Today, I'm actually going to give you an exercise that's going to go straight into the heart of your vocal break and may make it even more likely that you'll feel your vocal break. Why? Well, because we need to actually target that muscle and target that little shift that's happening in your voice in order to be able to fix it. That exercise today is the gee, as in you're saying the word geese. Like geese, like the little water bird. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do this gee, but we're going to do it on this 1.5 arpeggio. This gee. And maybe we might even do it a little bit yawny, maybe even do it a little bit dopey, kind of like the gee, kind of feeling up there. If you feel that you're getting a little too tense and too tight, don't worry, we're going to get into that. So the first thing that you need to know is this 1.5 arpeggio. It's 4 triplets, triplet, done. And there are many videos that I've shot where I break down this exact scale, this exact arpeggio so that you can practice it. If you're not familiar with it, this is one of the most powerful scales that we can use. And the reason that we're going to use it is because it's going up by major and minor thirds and by perfect fourths, which in your singing voice is actually good little jumps there. Okay, now we've got our exercise and we've got our scale. Now what's the actual technique that we're gonna do here? And this is the real trick to learning how to sing through your passage that seems to work for every student that I've given it to. 95% of the singers that I've taught have some sort of a vocal break that kind of sounds like this. It's a sequence of the chest voice as you go up gets too raw, it gets too unrefined, it goes a little too wild and feral, and the head voice is too light. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna focus on making the chest voice just as graceful and gradual and as finessed as possible, and at the same time, try to strengthen up the head voice. So you may feel like going a gee, but instead we need to gee. Now you'll notice I did a couple of things there, and for most people that's going to sound pretty smooth when you hear that. But the important thing that I did was that I didn't just bash with my chest voice when I came up to those higher notes. Instead, I just kind of finessed it because I know that I'm going to start handing off to my head voice soon. And when I went up to my head voice note, rather than letting it go to falsetto, instead, I made it a little bit of that rounder, kind of fuller sound with a little bit of that yawny gee sound. Okay, so let's get started with the guys. We're going to start with guys down here on B flat 2, high note of an F4. And what we're going to do, I'm going to demonstrate it, and then I'm going to have you guys sing it. And what you're going to do is probably around the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th note, right around that note right there, you're probably going to feel a lot of temptation to really push up that chest and get really, really raw with it. But instead, what we need to do is we need to really finesse that 4th and 5th note in preparation for handing it off to the head voice. And then probably around that 6th note, that F4 in this case, you're probably going to allow a little bit of the head voice to take it. But again, rather than letting it go to falsetto, keep it a little bit more of that yawny kind of sound. And again, we could bash right through this with a na 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 na. That's going to help you keep everything closing up there. And that really bratty sound helps you do that. But again, we want to do this exercise because we want to help you actually learn how to negotiate through that vocal break rather than just avoiding it. Okay, so let's get started for guys. B flat 2 up to an F4. And again, we're doing that on kind of that yawny gee, gee, gee. I'll do the first with you. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Gee, 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 gee. Keep going, guys. Good. Now I'm going to slow it down. I want you to do that one more time. And as you go up towards that high note, remember, don't let your voice get too raw. Try to keep it really, really refined. And when you go up to that head voice note on that G4, in this case, I want you to keep that kind of yawny kind of sound. Here we go. 2, 3, go. Very good. Very good. Keep going. Awesome. And you'll probably feel that what I'm asking you to do right now of keeping the top of your chest voice a little less raw and the top note in your voice, that head voice note, a little bit more present, a little bit more resonant, you'll probably find that that gets easier the higher that we go up. In other words, the further that we're getting from your chest voice, the lower the temptation it is to pull up your chest voice to that higher note. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Here we go. Starting on D3 on the bottom, A4 on the top. Here we go. Keep going. Awesome job, guys. Coming down now. Very good. Okay, we're getting a little deeper in the chest voice now. Resist that temptation to just pull up the chest voice and get it real raw. Instead, try to keep it really easy. Very good. Okay, now let's do the same thing for the ladies, starting here on G3, going up to D5. So, that area. Okay, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Keep going, ladies. Good. Remember, probably around your 1, 2, 3, 4th note, that's where you're going to feel the temptation to really pull up that chest voice. But instead, try to keep it really, really easy. You might even feel that it helps to kind of almost turn down the volume a little bit on that 4th note in preparation for the head voice note that comes on that C#5 right there, and certainly by the E5 above it. Okay, so let's do it together. Ready? 2, 3, go. Keep going. All right, one more. Excellent. Coming down. Good. Good. And one thing, ladies, I've got 2 more for you. But before we do that, one of the things that I've noticed with so many of the ladies that I teach is that when they start coming down from the top part of their voice, they don't break on the way up the scale, they break on the way down the scale. So you might, you know, you might feel a little bit more of that temptation to kind of break on the way down, and this is very, very common. I would say most singers either break on the way up or break on the way down, but rarely both. and rarely neither, right? So instead, you're probably going to break a little bit on the way down. And at least that's what I've seen for the ladies typically. And when you're coming down, again, it's the idea of you're coming from this big resonant space in your head voice, and as you're coming back down and you're starting to re-engage that chest voice, try to not make it so raw, okay? So, no. It's so graceful, you almost don't even know where that break is. Okay, let's do it together. Ready, 2, 3, go. Awesome job, ladies. Good, one more. Exactly. And now in my experience with this exercise, it's fantastic for helping you really confront that vocal break. And once you're able to do that with this gee, then you can start to do that with other exercises, which are maybe slightly more open mouth exercises like the nay, na, and of course, practicing it in songs. But it's so much more helpful if you actually get started the right way and learn how to really confront that transition and make it just as smooth and as beautiful as possible. Thank you guys so much for singing along and practicing along today. For a lot more fantastic exercises to help you learn to overcome that vocal break and sing right through it and make everything sound so smooth and beautiful, definitely check out my complete singing course, Master Your Voice.